Hey, what's up, guys? This is YouTube Review, and today I'm going to be doing the non-spoiler and the spoiler reviews of the Power Rangers. I just saw this. I saw like a 1:30 showing of it, and it's now 4 o'clock, so I literally just got out of the theater like 10-15 minutes ago, and this will be the non-spoiler review. The spoiler review will be posted up later, possibly back-to-back, because I'll probably post these at the same time after recording them both. But yeah, let's get into this. As usual, I will be going over initial thoughts, what I thought going into this movie, the highlights, the criticisms, and final thoughts and rating. And of course, in the spoiler review, I will go into more detail, but for the non-spoiler review, which is this, I will not be going into extreme detail. So if you want more detail on this movie, like if you should go see it, what you should expect going in to see it, and make sure to look out for such and such, go to the spoiler review video. So, all right, without further ado. Okay, my initial thoughts. I should say I am one of the kids that grew up watching Power Rangers, the original ones. Like I had videotapes and cassette tapes of the Power Rangers all doing the shows and movies and stuff, and I actually really like them. This movie, I do think there is some nostalgia in this movie. I do like it, or I do like this movie, but I did find a lot about it that I didn't like as well. Um, so what I thought going into this, I thought it was going to be an okay movie, probably not going to be a great movie because I've seen like ratings and stuff, so I knew that it probably wasn't going to be like the greatest movie of the year. But I also knew it was probably going to like. I had this feeling that it was basically going to use the Power Rangers or the franchise, the Power Rangers, but sort of like steer away from that and more like put into the story of the characters that became the Power Rangers. And this movie is basically an origin story of the Power Rangers. So you should probably know that going into the movie. It's not like it's picking up like a couple of years into how they became the Power Rangers. This is like an origin story for them and stuff like that. So my initial thoughts were basically this is probably going to be an origin story. I don't think it's going to be a great movie. I think it'll be okay, but I'm happy with it. I'm happy I spent my money. I'm happy I didn't pay the $7 in the midnight premiere. I'm happy I just paid like $5-6 to go see it because I don't think that it was really worth it. When I saw the previews, I thought, well, okay, it looks interesting enough to like gain my attention to like make me want to watch it. And then more previews came out, and then I started to think, well, this doesn't really look that great to me. But yeah. Okay, so first off, highlights. Insane character development. The 5 kids that eventually became the Power Rangers. They had like backstories that you really got into and you really heard about, and you sort of started to care about these characters. I really liked how the writing and the director set that up, and I like how they came together, and I liked their like overall character arc that like was going throughout the story. So I found that very interesting while watching this. The Zords, or the big machines, they look pretty cool. The outfits, the like armor or suits that they wear, those were really cool. Probably some of the better CGI in this movie, I would say, would be the suits. Part of it was CGI, part of it wasn't, so it was kind of weird. But it works pretty well overall, I think. Some pretty good acting overall, I would say. The villain I liked a lot. There were parts of her where I didn't like, but I'll get that into the criticisms. But overall, I liked the villain's character. I liked how she was portrayed, and I liked overall what she did, sort of. The Red Ranger guy, he was probably one of my favorite characters because you learned more about him than you did really anybody else. Well, actually, the Blue Ranger you probably learned more about than anybody else because he was sort of like one of the main center characters. Like you learned a lot more about him than probably anybody else in the movie. Yeah. The story, for the most part, was pretty good. There were a few flaws, but I'll get into the criticisms. But yeah, the scenery was really good. Also, the music was pretty good too. When they started playing "Go Go Power Rangers," you know, like the theme song for Power Rangers, which everyone knows that you'll hear, so that's not really a spoiler. That brought like a lot of nostalgia. Like the people sitting like 2 seats down from me was going like, "Oh my god!" as soon as that song came on. So that was really good. That was really cool. Even I got a little nostalgic about it, and I was going like, "Oh my god, they have this song in this movie. I should have expected this." But yeah, that was pretty good. Okay, now we're gonna get into the critiques. I have a lot more critiques than I do have highlights. Sorry, but I noticed a lot. Being a reviewer, I noticed a lot more problems with movies than I overly see. Um, some of the CGI is not very good, especially with like the Zords and stuff. Like it looks sort of polished and okay for most of the time. But sometimes it just looks really weird, and it's not very believable. Um, the big Zord thing, the Megazord, that was like all the things came together. Like if you saw the Power Rangers, you know that all the vehicles came together and created a giant robot thing. That one was okay for the most part. The CGI looked alright on it. Um, for the villain was for the most part okay, but you could sort of predict a few things about her really early on in the movie. Like you probably could have guessed a lot about her backstory, stuff like that. Like it wasn't exactly a giant mystery. Like I figured out exactly who she was within like the first 5 minutes of watching this movie. That's how easy it is to like understand her backstory or what she is. Um, Parts of her plan were either not really well thought out or were kind of stupid, and some of the villain's actions were kind of stupid and not really like done well. Like I can't really say anything without giving away spoilers, but yeah. The action sequences. Highlight the action sequences were pretty good. The martial arts and choreography that they did with the Rangers, that was pretty good. Some of it wasn't that great, which is another critique, so it's like a highlight critique. Some of the fight sequences are amazing, especially with the Zords and with the single combat things against like the rock guys, rock people. Like the hand-to-hand combat, like the Blue Ranger does like a triple kick on this one guy. That was really cool to me. But some of it was like either not very well choreographed or wasn't shot very well because you kind of like see this. The camera was like shaking all over the place. It was a little hard to like keep up with the action or at least see the action. Which actually brings me into another one of my critiques. Some of the scenes should not have been shot the way they were shot. For example, when the rock creatures are going after the Power Rangers, they jump into the water, and then you can see like the Power Rangers jumping into the water to attack them, and it didn't look good. It didn't look very well to me. It actually looked like shaky, kind of like unbalanced, uncoordinated camera work. You were basically like trying to like figure out, okay, where are the Rangers? Where are the Rangers? Where are the rock people? Who destroyed that thing? Who destroyed that thing? It's a little bit hard to follow, and I thought it shouldn't have happened like that. Like maybe the rock creature should have like entered into the base and then they should have started fighting with maybe a little water combat, but I don't think they should have like had that much water combat in it. But it was only like one scene, so it didn't irk me a lot. But it was just definitely something I noticed and didn't like very much. The final fight, that's sort of a two-way thing as well. Personally, I for the most part liked it, but I also had a little bit of a problem with it, which I can't really say because it's a spoiler. But yeah, I didn't exactly like the fight scene 100% because of a certain thing that happened, and you'll kind of get into this later. Also, another critique. Sorry, I'm having a lot of critiques today. But the people's reactions weren't very well done, I would say. Like, there are like rock people running around, there's giant metal things running around, giant metal machines, and like people in armored costumes, and you don't see like any of the people like having like realistic realistic like expressions, or sorry, reactions. Like when the villain first comes out, you don't really see like a realistic screamer, or you don't really see somebody that actually looks scared that she is. Or when the villain start making stuff start floating, the only thing like the police officer that's encountering her goes is like, oh my god. He doesn't react. He doesn't look scared. He just looks like he's acting, and you can really tell that he was acting, but acting not very well. So a lot of the reactions I noticed weren't very well, and they had like, and during like the final battle or the final couple of scenes, you saw the Zords like running all over town, but you didn't really see like anybody in the town really reacting to them. Like, I would have loved to see at least like one person go like, oh my god, did you see that giant tiger running around? Holy shit! No, I didn't see any of that, and I thought that was really weird because you don't see this stuff every day, and usually you'd probably be scared if it did happen. Like, say like a giant metal tiger came walking down Main Street. Odds are you'd be scared shitless. You'd be scared to death. Sorry. YouTube rules, can't really curse or stuff like that, but yeah. So, yeah, that's another one of my critiques. I can't really get into the other critiques because there are a lot of spoilers, so if you want to hear those, they'll be in the spoiler review. But overall, I liked the movie, but it was also kind of a letdown because, okay, I went into this movie, I didn't think it was going to be fantastic. I didn't think it was going to be great. I thought it was going to be like, okay, probably will be entertaining for a while, but probably not one of the best movies I've ever seen. Nowhere near that title, really. But it was entertaining. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was okay. It wasn't a great movie. I would recommend seeing it, but I don't think you should go see it if you have high expectations for movies, because odds are if you're that kind of person, you will be disappointed with this. So overall, for a rating, I would give it maybe a 5.8 out of 10, or 58%, give or take. But that's my personal opinion. If you don't believe me, just go see it, and you'll probably know what I'm getting at. So, yeah, this is YouTube Review. Make sure to click that like button, subscribe, and if you want to see more of my videos, hit the bell, and watch out for the spoiler review, which will be coming out probably in an hour or two. I don't know. Catch you guys later.